Hi everybody, so this is Dan Gray. Last said I'm going to make a video about the positives and the negatives of ADHD and how that really fits in, and if whether you can really see ADHD as a gift or whether you should just be more realistic and realize that sometimes it can be a gift and sometimes it couldn't be. But then I heard this amazing story that I just had to tell because it relates so much to my life, and to other people. So if you know somebody that is really broken down by life, by their decisions, by things that happen, to really feel that they have no value, no self-worth because of what they've done, because they let somebody down, I think this video might be of value for that person, especially maybe addicts, people that really let somebody else down. I've said it a couple of times and I don't want to overemphasize the point, but because I was diagnosed at 50 with ADHD, it's very much a story of my life. I said it before, but it's true and I can't deny it, that the constant faults that I made and nobody knew that there was something wrong with me, and then the feedback that I got back from my peers, family, friends, situations, circumstances, is basically that you're a failure. And I was very confident when I started off after school, and over the years I just lost my confidence and I just lost the drive that I have, and I became, although I'm an extrovert, I became sort of an introvert, and I didn't want to go out much, and I'd rather stay at home. And this all because of all the faults and mistakes that I've made and the message it conveyed back to me about being a failure and not making it in life. Even if I look where my peers are now, some of them are very successful, and I set out to be this guy and then I ended up not being this guy. So, but the story that I've heard is from American TV show called The American Pickers. Basically, these people that go around looking for old stuff of value, and then when they find it, they will see whether it's value or true value or not. So on the one episode, and this is now, I related to somebody that was related to me, so I'm not going to go too much into detail, but this is the story. That they found an old van, and on the old side of the old van, Aerosmith, the words Aerosmith was written on, and the logo what's on there was nothing like the real band's logo. But the band was rusted and it really was in a bad condition. But the whole thing that would have added value to this van is whether it belonged to Aerosmith or not. That was the whole point, the whole fact, the whole tipping point that this deal rested upon. So the owner said, listen, I don't want to sell you this, guys, and then it is an Aerosmith and I lose out, or I sell it as the real Aerosmith van and then it isn't, and then I taken money from you unnecessarily. So the two guys of the show figured out, and they found out through their contacts, and they got hold of one of the band members that lived close by. And the band member came by and he identified the van as their original van, which they toured with. And the value that van had, because it belonged to Aerosmith, just shot up. They bought that van for $25,000. It was rusted. It was in no great condition. It was in a really bad shape. But because that van belonged to Aerosmith, the band, it had value. And kind of that is what got me through this whole period, this whole thing in my life with ADHD and the mistakes that you constantly make, and being a disappointment to a lot of people. And people, just a simple thing, maybe I can explain, it's like spelling, because sometimes my spelling can go high, while the words I can remember now, or I can't remember to spell today, and tomorrow I can spell them correctly, and then today I cannot. Or my mind is too fast, so I will type my mind is too fast for my hands, so I will type and then my sentences won't make any sense because I'm jumping too quickly from where my thought patterns are jumping, and what I'm typing is just the same way as my thought patterns are jumping. And today people can really go on and treat you like a lesser person just because you can't spell properly sometimes, and even that you are not as intelligent. And they can make fun of you. Just go to social media and see how people can go on about somebody that makes a spelling error. Well, So one of the things that got me through this period is because I'm a spiritual person. And my spirituality is Christianity. And this is why I want to link up. When you are a person and you've sat there and you have really disappointed everybody around you, you feel like a complete failure and you don't have something to attach and to say, listen, I am of value. And this is what I've realized. And when that person told me the story of the van of Aerosmith, it just clicked in my mind. I believe in God. I believe that He's a loving person, the Almighty, all-knowing, that has created everything. And I belong to that God. And that is why I have value. It's because who I belong to. Now I know you're going to say, no, Daniel, you must find value in yourself, and value mustn't be outside there, and value this and value that. But, you see, when you're so down in life, and you're so gutted, it's not easy to find value in yourself. If you see people around you struggling because of you, if you see people around you who could have been better off, but they aren't because of you, it's very difficult to add value. But when you can close your eyes and you can go and sit in the last authority on earth, the biggest authority, the person, the being that knows it all, that's got all this wisdom, all power intact, and that person says to you, you have value because you belong to me. And that is why I want to say to you, you can find value in any other way you want to, but maybe there's somebody just need to hear this that can identify with my story, and I want to lift you up and say, you will eventually find your true value, because God, my belief, doesn't make trash, and every person out there has got value. But sometimes you just need to realize, and it should sometimes just the thought that I have value and I am of value because I have been created by God Almighty, and I belong to Him through His Son Jesus Christ. So that to me is the story. It just clicked in my mind. This van was worthless. It wasn't even worth $100, I think. But because it belonged to Aerosmith and they were the owners, the value shot up to $25,000. So I want to say to you today, you do have value because you have been created by God Almighty and you belong to Him. This is Dan Green saying, adios, muchachos.